Hi. In today's video, we will be discussing about payback period. This payback period topic is included in finance, business finance, financial management, financial statement analysis of the Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, as well as Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. By BS Accountancy, I mean all those under its umbrella, the BS Accounting Information System, as well as BS Management Accounting. So let's get into this topic. We will be discussing about payback period where cash flows are equal as well as the cash inflows are unequal. Let's discuss what's payback period. By definition, it refers to the amount of time you recover the amount you invested in that particular uh, project. Okay. The formula for payback period differs when cash flows are equal or unequal. If the cash flows are equal, your formula is payback period is equal to your original total investment divided by your expected annual cash flows. So to better understand, let's solve this problem. Company XYZ is considering investment of 100,000. So we are using payback period prior to deciding to set up a business. So take note, this is not only for students. This can also be used by those who are viewing here who have businesses. So they are expected that the annual cash flow, annual meaning every year, they're expecting 20,000 from these investments. So our important details are investment of 100,000 as well as the cash inflow of 20,000. Going back to our formula, payback period is investment divided by annual cash flows. Your investment is 100,000. So 100,000 divided by yearly cash flow of 20,000. So our solution is now 100,000 divided by 20,000 per year. So our answer is 5 years. Okay? So it takes 5 years to recover an investment worth 100,000 if its cash flows is 20,000 uniformly received every year. Okay, that's for equal cash flows. Let's discuss unequal cash inflows. Unequal meaning every year the amount of cash flows expected is not even. So let's have this problem where XYZ company is considering an investment of 100,000. So this time there are two alternative investments. So the company here is wanted to decide if it will set up alternative A, which will cost them 100,000, or project B or alternative B, which will also cost 100,000. So there are other measures on how to evaluate which project we wanted to set up. But for now, we will just focus on payback period. Okay, again, we will just be assessing the business. This is only one point in evaluating a business. We were just assessing how quick we can recover our investment. So investment A here has this expected cash flows, while investment B here has these expected cash flows, 35,000. So we will be focusing now on alternative A. So if we have uneven cash flows, the best way to solve or to compute the payback period is to create a table where you have your year cash flows, investment to be recovered, and year lapse, as you can see in the screen. Okay, so what we will be doing is we will just copy the year cash flows from our problem. So remember our problem where we have this cash flow year, and the year end, the amount of expected cash flow under alternative A. So we will just copy from year 0, the beginning of the year, start where you finance the project, then 1, 2, 3, 4 as given in the problem, and copy these figures. We just copied the figures. So at the start of the year, or year 0, at the start of the project, the investment to be recovered is also 100,000. So negative connotes cash outflow, positive connotes cash inflows. So at the start of the project, you spent 100,000, therefore the investment to be recovered is also 100,000. Okay. Year 1, here comes year 1. Our expected cash flow is 35. If we expect 35,000 for year 1, therefore the investment to be recovered in year 1 should be the previous year's investment to be recovered, which is 100,000, minus this year's cash flow, which is 35,000. So our investment to be recovered in year 1 is 65,000. Then 1 year lapse. So you put 1 under the payback period column because 1 year lapse. It takes us 1 year to recover this 35,000 portion. The following year, we also do the same thing. So for year 2, our investment to be recovered is now your previous balance of 65,000 minus this year's cash flow of 28,000. So your year 2 investment to be recovered is 37,000. Then you put another year under the payback period. So another year has lapsed or expired. For year 3, we will do the same thing. It's previous balance, which is 37 minus this year's cash inflow of 32,000. So the amount to be recovered now is 35,000. Observe that the investment to be recovered is lower than the cash flow for the year. Therefore, our investment to be recovered here is now 0. That means it's fully recovered. The 100,000 is fully recovered by the end of, by 4th year. So this 5,000 didn't have to wait for the whole period to be recovered. So to compute for the payback period for the last year, we have to divide the investment to be recovered versus the cash flow for this year. And that's 1.125 or equivalent to 1 month and a half. So the total payback period for alternative A is 3.125. Solving this, adding these 4 figures. So remember our problem, it says the cut-off period is 3 years. So for a project to be accepted by the board of director, it must be 3 years. Its payback period must be 3 years or less. So in our case, it's 3.125. So it's beyond the cut-off rate. Okay? So let's compare alternative B. So this is our wrap-up for our payback period topic. If you observe in alternative B, all of its cash flows is the same. So that means we have equal cash flows for alternative B. Therefore, we can use our original solution, which is faster, where payback period is equal to, again, original investment of 100,000 divided by your annual cash inflow of 35,000 per year. Therefore, your payback period for alternative B is 2.86, lower than alternative A. So in conclusion, alternative A, it's 3.125 years versus alternative B, which is 2.86 years. So alternative B is better um, when it comes to the recovery time for its investment. So that's how we use. Of course, again, there are other measures on how we can assess which alternative is better, and payback period is only one. The rest of those um, measures and methods on how to evaluate projects will be discussed in our succeeding videos. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of our videos.